the role descriptions for what we call a lead procurement manager and a role description for what we call a procurement manager. And if we remind ourselves about the two orange columns again, this is actually where the lead procurement manager will have a big role to play. We target this role as a bit more strategic and on a project level responsibility compared to a procurement manager, where it is, you could say, more in detail about the specific tenders and the specific packages and the specific activities that, and you can have many procurement managers in a project depending on, you could say, your procurement quilts and how you divide the different categories of how you strategically source your items for an offshore wind farm or whatever other renewable technology. It could be battery storage, it could be power to X, it could be carbon capture. We believe that this model can actually target more technologies than only offshore wind, but this is how we talk about it in the RECOA case here, and also with our case study, which is an offshore wind farm, as Michelle explained. So it is a bit offshore wind centric, but we believe that you could say the role descriptions as well as the P2C model can actually be applied to other technologies as well. And if you look in the lower right corner here, and if you go down to enlarge that, Michelle, we have put the role description into a generic organization chart of a project in development. So we have actually, you could say, made ready for you guys a full what we believe is a generic organization chart, and we will use that throughout the RECOA educations as well, with the different roles, the different titles, so to speak, of a generic project organization. And where you see the orange arrow in the upper left, this is where we have chosen to place the lead procurement manager. So referring directly to what we call the program director in the development phase. And that's why a lot of the work that a lead procurement manager does is actually a more strategic level, and it's also setting, you could say, the boundaries for how all the procurement managers, which are put here in the lower part of the slide with the orange colors in the bottom, that you could say a set of engagement rules that they are going to to work according to once the project really kicks off in the procurement execution phase. And if you go back, Michelle, to the role, and we click to the next role, which is the procurement manager role. Then we have put in, you could see that this is a generic role description with the same headings as you saw for the lead procurement manager as well. But if you look at this, this is more centered around your success as a procurement manager and what are you actually going to deliver on your specific tender with your package management team. What do we see as, you could say, your recommended qualification and competences for succeeding in your job. And then we have on the right side listed, you could say, what do we think the key activities that mirrors what is stated in the active version of the P2C model. Once you get into the module and play around with the model, you will see that some of your key activities are mentioned there, and they of course are aligned with what you see here. And we have our suggestions in the course of also what management deliverables you are actually going to deliver. And this is also something that that we really deep dive into and give you not only an introduction to, but actually example by example show you our viewpoint on how you can deliver all this and how a specific deliverable such as a gate document can be tailored for your project needs. So this is a little bit about, you could say, how we envisage that we work in project development, how the procurement activities develop over time. Again, the two orange headed columns in the P2C model are what we cover in this course. and then a little bit about what we will deep dive in also in module 3 about the roles and responsibilities, so that you hopefully will be doing a good job in your projects when you work in your daily work. And then the next thing is to go back and really baseline on what is actually needed of very, specific knowledge in terms of the analysis and everything that has to do with the category management part of knowledge in the analysis and strategy phase. And this is what Bota will tell you a little bit more about how we designed that module about that topic.